Imagine standing at the edge of a vast ocean at dawn, the horizon painted with colors unseen, a gentle breeze carrying whispers of possibilities yet to come. Beneath your feet, the sand is firm, steady, inviting you to take the first step into unknown depths. In this moment, you feel a pulse, a call from within, urging you to become more than you ever imagined. This is the beginning of a journey not marked on any map, a path of transformation where every choice, every thought, shapes the world you will step into. The story you are about to hear is one of awakening, of breaking through the invisible walls that hold us back, and stepping into a life alive with meaning, power, and freedom. It is a story that begins with a single truth. The life you want is already within you. This journey will reveal how to unlock it, how to weave your deepest desires into reality through the art of focused intention, belief, and relentless faith in what feels impossible. Prepare to embark on this transformative voyage, where silence speaks louder than noise, where unseen forces align to your purpose, and where you, the architect of your destiny, learn to command the universe itself. This is more than a guide, it is an awakening call. The horizon is yours, the ocean waits. Chapter 1. The Seed of Imagination. What if everything you desire, every dream held close to your heart, already exists within you, waiting only for the spark of imagination to bring it alive? Close your eyes for a moment and picture a seed pressed gently into your palm. This is no ordinary seed. It holds within it the blueprint of a towering tree, the whisper of leaves rustling in wind, and the silent strength of roots reaching deep into the earth. That seed is your imagination. Now imagine what happens when the seed of imagination takes root inside the fertile soil of your mind. It grows in silence, unseen, but no less real. Each day, with your attention, it drinks in light. Your thoughts, like water, nourish it. The emotions you feel are sunlight, dancing through branches, coaxing life to unfold in ways you never expected. This beginning, subtle as it feels, is the birth of transformation. Why start here? With imagination. Because true change begins in the unseen world of ideas, dreams, and visions. Before we act, before the world shifts around us, a new possibility must first be imagined. Imagination is the divine forge where future realities are molded. It does not merely dream, it designs, constructs, and commands. Without it, nothing new emerges. Everything we call progress, success, or breakthrough leapt first from the mind's creative fire. But many people misunderstand imagination. They think it is escape, distraction, something frivolous or childish. Yet, imagination is the original act of creation, the language of the soul's deepest desires. It's how inventors see machines before building them, how artists see masterpieces before the first brushstroke, how leaders glimpse new worlds before they rise. Imagination is the silent architect of every life lived fully. Here's a quiet truth. The imagination you carry is sacred and powerful beyond measure. It is not something to dismiss or bury under daily noise. It is your birthright. When you learn to cultivate your imagination intentionally, you unlock the door to possibilities that defy logic and shatter limits. You learn to see yourself not as a passive passenger swept by circumstance, but as the active shaper of your existence. Consider this: every moment you spend imagining your best life, your true self, you plant a seed stronger than fear, doubt, or limitation. That seed may be fragile now, but it holds resilience, like the finest steel forged in a fire's heart. When nurtured, it grows into a relentless force that will one day uproot old patterns and silently command the universe to align with your vision. Imagination does something else meaningful. It awakens hope. And hope is the heartbeat of transformation. It whispers, there is more, more than your current struggles, more than the shadows of past failures, more than any voice telling you to settle or give up. Hope isn't wishful thinking. It is a steady flame kindled by the seeds you plant in your mind. In that flame, transformation begins to glow. Embrace the unfolding mystery of your own imagination, because it is stumbling block and superpower alike. It can trap you in endless what-ifs, or it can propel you forward with creative solutions you never saw before. The difference lies in how you engage with it. Will your imagination become a place of fear, spinning worst-case scenarios? Or will you wield it as a sanctuary where your truest dreams take shape? Real, tangible, electrifying. The first step is simple but profound. Give yourself permission. Permission to dream boldly, to envision wildly, to let the mind stretch beyond the edges of what feels possible. Imagine not just what you want, but how you'd feel living it. The peace, the joy, the freedom that would flow through your veins. Hold these images in your mind with reverence, as priceless treasures awaiting harvest. This practice is not about creating illusions or escaping reality. It is about planting a seed so potent that it transforms your perception and thus your reality. The imagination shapes the lens through which you see your world. Change the lens, and the world rearranges around you. You begin to notice opportunities that were always there but invisible before. You start to believe in your own ability to create. Let's be honest, it's challenging. The world often encourages us to be practical, to face facts, to conform to what is imagination, especially in its rawest form, feels risky. It asks you to step into uncertainty, to be vulnerable, and to trust a part of yourself that can't yet be seen by others. But here's the secret. It is in this uncertainty that transformation thrives. The discomfort you feel is the soil breaking open, preparing for growth. Stories of those who changed their lives often begin here, with a seed thought insignificant by the world, but cherished fiercely by its planter. A single vision once held quietly against the odds, nurtured daily, refused to be silenced. These stories remind us that the power to profoundly shift any life starts deep within the invisible chambers of imagination. As you listen today, you have already taken the first step by opening your mind to this powerful truth. It's a step filled with both wonder and responsibility. You are invited to become a gardener of your destiny, planting seeds with your thoughts, watering them with your feelings, giving light to what calls to you most. In this chapter, we lay the foundation. Transformation is born from imagination. The journey ahead will invite you to deepen this truth, to understand the forces that bring seeds to full bloom, and to embody the creator you were always meant to be. Before we move on, take a moment to feel this quietly. What seed have you carried inside you, waiting for the moment to grow? What dream lies just beneath the surface, longing for your sacred attention? This is your awakening point, a door opening to greater awareness and endless possibility. The path continues from here. And in the next chapter you will meet the next vital force that shapes your reality: belief. Together, imagination and belief build bridges between what is and what can be. For now, hold the seed of imagination gently in your heart and prepare to water it with the power of belief. The transformation has begun. The journey is yours to claim. Chapter 2: The Power of Belief. What if the road beneath your feet could shift like sand, not because the earth moves beneath you, but because your mind decides it is so? Imagine walking through a dense fog, uncertain where to step next, yet holding a torch of unwavering belief that guides you safely through. Belief is that torch. It is the invisible force that turns distant dreams into unfolding reality. Without it, imagination remains merely a whisper, fragile, unanchored, incomplete. Belief is more than a passing feeling. It's a profound act of conscious alignment. It is choosing to see your vision as real, already achieved, even when the evidence around you tells a different story. It is the silent declaration that your future self is not a distant hope, but a present truth, waiting for you to fully embrace. Herein lies the transformative power of belief. It molds reality through the lens of your conviction. Many of us live caught between doubt and desire. We dream, we imagine, but doubt creeps in like a shadow, whispering not possible or not for you. These whispers are dangerous because they hijack the imagination's power by sowing hesitation and fear. Yet, belief offers a counterforce so potent that it can turn the darkest doubt into stepping stones. Belief becomes the foundation on which your imagination stands strong. This chapter invites you to examine your own beliefs, not as fixed truths, but as choices you make every day. Ask yourself, which beliefs nurture my growth? Which imprison it? Too often we carry inherited beliefs unexamined, ideas passed down from childhood, culture, or past failures that limit what we dare to claim. Recognizing these barriers is the first step to dismantling them. Let me share a story. There was a young woman who dreamed of becoming a writer. Her mind overflowed with stories, vivid characters, and worlds waiting to be told. But her belief whispered, "Who are you to write? You're not talented enough. It's too late." For years, she hid her voice, silencing imagination beneath layers of doubt. Then, one day, she made a conscious choice to believe in her worth, to embrace her right to create. That belief was barely a flicker, but it was enough to begin. Slowly, the stories poured out. Doors opened, the world shifted around her, not because magic happened overnight, but because she chose to hold a new belief, defying all doubt. Belief is a practice, not a mere thought. It's cultivated through daily acts of faith, repeated affirmations, and the courage to keep stepping forward regardless of temporary setbacks. It's the willingness to experience the tension between what is and what could be, without letting fear dominate. This tension is where magic stirs. It forces your mind and heart to stretch beyond comfort zones and rewrite what you once accepted as fixed. Consider this. Your brain is wired to protect you. It rewards familiar patterns and fears uncertainty. So, when you begin to believe differently than the stories etched in your memory, your mind resists. You might feel a subtle voice of resistance. It's not true. You'll fail. Don't get your hopes up. Recognize these as signs the old beliefs are being challenged. Resistance is an invitation, not a barrier, a call to strengthen your conviction, not surrender it. Belief is not about denying reality, but about understanding that reality is fluid. The walls around you are often the limits in your mind, not concrete facts. What you believe shapes your perception, turning obstacles into opportunities, moments of stillness into breakthroughs. Imagine wearing a lens tinted by belief. The world's colors shift, revealing paths once hidden. To deepen belief, connect with your emotional core. Intellect alone cannot sustain it. Feel the certainty, light the fire in your chest. Cultivate excitement, as if your vision has already manifested. When belief is felt deeply, it vibrates through your entire being and sends powerful signals to the subconscious mind. These signals are the universe's call to align events and people in your favor. Yet belief demands honesty. It requires you to face fear and doubt with courage, not to pretend they don't exist. True belief embraces shadow and light, the dark moments and the bright visions, knowing that both are part of your evolution. This integration creates authenticity that fuels lasting transformation. Now think about a time you believed in something deeply. Perhaps it was a small but significant moment, the shift when you trusted your voice, stood up for your truth, or chose to try again after failure. Recall how it felt in your body, that quiet strength, the way the world seemed to soften around you. That feeling, no matter how faint or brief, is your inner lighthouse, your unshakable core. Your beliefs are not static. They evolve as you do. The power lies in choosing which beliefs you allow to grow, which stories you tell yourself each day. Will you cling to limiting narratives that drain your energy, or will you fan the flames of belief that empower your vision? The choice is yours, and it is the most potent form of creation you possess. Belief is not a solitary act. It connects you to a vast lineage of those who dared to trust beyond reason, from explorers crossing unknown lands, to artists defying convention, to visionaries who changed humanity's course. Their power was belief first, and that same power lives in you, waiting to be awakened. As you move forward, carry this thought with you. Belief bridges the gap between where you are and where you want to be. It turns nebulous chances into tangible possibilities. The task ahead is to strengthen this bridge daily, until it becomes the unwavering path beneath your feet. In the next chapter, we will explore silence, the deep, often overlooked power of stillness in this journey. Silence holds a unique space where belief can grow without noise, where clarity emerges beyond distraction. It is the secret sanctuary where your inner torch burns brightest, illuminating the way forward. For now, reflect on your beliefs. Which ones serve your highest self? Which are ready to be released? Hold your torch firmly. You are the keeper of your truth. And with belief as your guide, the path lies wide open before you. Chapter 3. Silence. Listen closely. Can you hear it? The silence wrapped around this very moment is not empty. It pulses with life, a quiet heartbeat beneath the rush of noise. Imagine standing in a vast, still forest at dawn, where the air is thick with calm and every breath feels like a sacred exchange between you and the world. Silence is not absence. It is presence in its purest form, the fertile ground from which clarity and power arise. Most of us fear silence because it demands something we rarely give ourselves: true attention. We fill silence with distractions, talk, screens, movement, to avoid facing the depths within. But silence, when embraced, becomes an ally, a sanctuary where the chatter of doubt fades and the wisdom of your inner self speaks loudest. In this stillness, transformation finds its root. The power of silence lies in its paradox. It is at once a void and a force, seemingly empty, yet filled with infinite potential. It is the quiet space where your imagination and belief begin to meld, where chaotic thoughts settle and pure intention crystallizes. When you harness silence, you create a sanctuary for your soul, a place immune to the noise that often drowns out dreams. Consider this. When a seed grows, it does so beneath the surface, unseen but unstoppable. It is in the silence of the soil that roots deepen and strength gathers. Your mind is the soil, silence the space, nourishing that growth. Without pause, without quiet, your mental garden becomes choked with distraction, hard ground, cracked and dry. But silence opens the gates for deep renewal. Embracing silence does not mean withdrawal or passivity. It is the active choice to step away from the frenzy, to listen to the subtle currents stirring beneath your surface. It's in silence that intuition awakens, where insight flashes like lightning in the night sky. This is not mystical fluff, it is the biology of clarity. Neuroscience confirms that quieting the mind lowers stress and sharpens focus. It recharges your creative force. A story comes to mind. There was a man consumed by noise, both outside and inside. His days flooded with distractions, his mind racing incessantly. One moment, lost in stillness as he sat quietly near a river, the chaos inside him began to subside. In the deep silence, he heard a whisper, a truth so clear it changed everything. That whisper was not external, but an inner compass pointing to his deepest desires, his true purpose. From that moment on, silence became his refuge and source of strength, guiding him through turbulent times. Silence invites reflection, but it also invites creation. It is the pause before a breath, the gap in musical notes that gives meaning to the melody. Without silence, meaning scatters. With it, ideas blossom. Your dreams, powered by belief, need silence to take form. It is here, in these quiet spaces, that your deepest aspirations gain shape and substance. Yet silence is not always comfortable. It can stir fear, like looking into an unknown abyss. Old fears, buried memories, and hidden doubts surface in still moments. This is natural and necessary. Silence strips away distractions, exposing truths we often avoid. But these truths are gifts, keys that unlock doors to healing and freedom. When you embrace all that silence reveals, you cultivate authenticity and courage. To practice the power of silence, start simply. Dedicate moments each day to stillness, not for escape, but for presence. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and allow your mind to settle like a calm lake. When thoughts arise, observe them without judgment, letting them drift like leaves on water. In this practice, you build a habit of inner calm that grows stronger with time. Silence also deepens your connection to gratitude and wonder. In quiet, you recognize the small miracles surrounding you, the warmth of sunlight, the rhythm of your heartbeat, the gentle hum of life. This awareness nourishes your soul and aligns your spirit with the unfolding dance of creation. It reminds you that you are part of something vast and magnificent, and that silence is the thread weaving it all together. As you cultivate silence, you'll notice a subtle shift. Decisions become clearer, fears lessen, and your creative energy flows more freely. You begin to trust the process unfolding within and around you. Silence becomes a wellspring of resilience, a place you return to when the world grows loud and confusing. Remember, silence is not isolation, but connection. Connection to your true self, to your dreams and to the deeper currents guiding your life. It is an act of courage to choose silence in a world addicted to noise. It invites you to listen with new ears, see with new eyes, and feel with a heart wide open. As this chapter closes, hold this thought gently. Silence is a sacred space where transformation is born and sustained. It is the quiet power that breathes life into your imagination and belief, the still well you will return to again and again. In the next chapter, we will explore how focused attention channels this inner power into deliberate action. Attention is the bridge from silent clarity to purposeful creation. For now, rest in silence and prepare to sharpen your focus. The quiet is where your true strength lives. The journey continues with intention, with courage, with unwavering presence. Chapter 4. The Art of Focused Attention. Imagine standing in the middle of a bustling city street, the world rushing past in a blur of noise, color, and movement. Now picture yourself locking your gaze on a single flower blooming between cracks in the pavement. Against the chaos, that flower stands vivid and alive, a focal point amidst distraction. This is the power of focused attention, the ability to center your mind like a laser beam, transforming scattered energy into purposeful force. Attention is the currency of creation. Wherever your focus settles, energy follows. It is attention, not time, talent, or chance, that shapes your reality most profoundly. Think about how easily moments slip away when your mind wanders, lost in worries, doubts, or endless scrolling. Now contrast that with the feeling of being fully present, immersed, alive, effortlessly connected to what matters. This difference is the essence of focus, a gateway to mastery over your inner and outer worlds. But focus is a skill, a deliberate choice, and often a fight against ingrained habits. Our modern lives are designed to fracture attention, bombarded by constant notifications, noise and demands pulling us in every direction. The mind, like a wild horse, wants to run free, yet real progress calls for gentling this restless spirit. It invites you to cultivate the art of focused attention, to harness your mental power and direct it where it counts. Here's a truth often overlooked. Focus is not about force or willpower alone. It is about alignment. When your attention aligns with your deepest desires and values, it naturally deepens and sharpens. Distractions lose their grip, not through struggle, but through clarity of purpose. Imagine a compass needle drawn unerringly to magnetic north. That is what true focus feels like: effortless, unwavering, magnetic. Consider the story of a master painter working on a single canvas for days. Each brushstroke is intentional, each detail summoned with care. The world around the artist may swirl with chaos, but within that moment, the artist is utterly absorbed. This absorption is the sacred dance of focus, where time slows, creativity expands, and act and intention become one. To cultivate focused attention, begin with awareness. Notice where your mind drifts throughout the day. Are you responding to every ping, thought, or impulse? Or do you hold space for concentration? This awareness is your first tool. From here, you can begin to gently steer your focus rather than be swept along by distractions. Practice is key. Start by setting small intervals of undivided attention: 5 minutes reading, 10 minutes writing, moments dedicated purely to your most important goal. Each time your mind wanders, bring it back without judgment. Like training a muscle, patience and persistence build strength over time. There is a spiritual dimension to focus, too. It requires presence, a deep aliveness to the unfolding moment. Focus is a conversation between your will and the flow of life. It invites you to listen closely, not just to external tasks, but to the subtle guidance within. This inner dialogue grows clearer when distractions fade, lighting your path forward with insight and intention. Attention also shapes your emotional landscape. When fragmented, emotions become scattered and overwhelming, but focus channels your feelings, allowing you to anchor in calm confidence or passionate drive. It quiets anxiety and nurtures resilience. In this way, focused attention becomes an embrace, a holding space where transformation unfolds naturally and powerfully. There are common obstacles to focus that deserve recognition. Multitasking, often praised as productivity, depletes mental energy and fractures your creative power. Negative self-talk breeds distraction and doubt. Overwhelm from trying to do too much clouds clarity. Identifying these barriers is essential to reclaiming your attention and steering it wisely. Imagine your mind as a garden. Attention is the gardener's hand, deciding what to nurture, what to prune, and where to plant new seeds. Weeds of distraction grow quickly if left unchecked, choking creativity and peace. But with deliberate care, your mental landscape flourishes, rich, vibrant, and aligned with your highest aspirations. Now let's turn inward for a moment. Close your eyes and envision the one goal or vision that matters most in this phase of your life. See it clearly in your mind's eye. Feel its weight, its promise, and the spark of excitement it kindles in your chest. This vision becomes the anchor for your focus. With every breath, bring attention back to this center. Let it fuel your persistence, guide your actions, and illuminate your choices. Focus transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results. It is not about quantity of work, but quality of presence. When you give your full attention to what truly matters, time seems to stretch, and your impact deepens. Doors open, ideas flow, and the universe responds to the clarity of your intent. Remember, focus is not a destination, but a practice, a daily commitment to reclaim your mind from scattered thoughts and external noise. It's a promise you make to yourself, to show up fully, to honor your deepest desires, and to steer your life with deliberate, unwavering attention. As this chapter draws to a close, hold this in your heart. Focused attention is the bridge between your silent inner clarity and the bold steps that bring your dreams into form. It is the art of mastering your mind so your vision can come alive. In the next chapter, we will explore the profound power of language, how the words you speak and think sculpt your reality in ways you may never have imagined. For now, carry your focus like a torch, lighting your path through the darkest shadows and toward a life brilliantly lived. The path forward is clear. Look ahead with steady eyes and a quiet mind. The journey continues. Chapter 5. The language you speak. Words are not mere sounds tossed into the air. They are seeds planted deep within the garden of the mind. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast forest, scattering seeds on the wind. Some take root and sprout into towering trees. Others wither and vanish. The words you choose, both the ones you speak aloud and the silent ones you whisper inside your mind, are those seeds. They shape not only your thoughts, but the very world you live in. From the moment we learn to speak, language becomes the lens through which we interpret our experience. It is the architecture of our inner dialogue, the scaffold upon which our beliefs and emotions are built. Yet most of us use language unconsciously, unaware of the profound power our words wield. They can build bridges to possibility or walls of limitation. They can nurture hope or sow despair. Consider how often negative phrases replay in your mind. I can't, I'm not good enough. This will never work. These are seeds of doubt and paralysis, quietly eroding your confidence and dimming the light of your dreams. On the other hand, words of encouragement, affirmation, and kindness water resilience, courage, and creativity. The difference lies in conscious choice, an awareness that language is the paintbrush, crafting your inner and outer worlds. This chapter invites you to become an artist of your own language, to watch carefully what you say, to yourself and to others, and to begin shaping your speech with intention and love. The moment you recognize language as a tool, not a habit, you gain enormous freedom. You reclaim the power to rewrite the story you tell yourself every day. There is a deep spiritual truth here. What you speak becomes your reality. Language is the bridge between thought and manifestation. When you verbalize your vision with conviction, you send ripples through your unconscious mind and beyond. Words become commands, calling forth answers from the universe's hidden fabric. This is not metaphor alone, but a tangible force. Take a moment and reflect on the stories you tell yourself. What is the narrative running beneath your surface? Is it one of limitation, scarcity, and fear, or is it woven with belief, abundance, and possibility? Changing this narrative requires courage, a willingness to challenge old scripts, rewrite the chapters that no longer serve, and speak new truths into being. A friend once shared how simply shifting her language transformed her life. Instead of saying, "I don't know how," she began asking, "How can I learn?" Instead of "I'm stuck," she said, "I'm on the path." This subtle shift ignited a change in her mindset. Obstacles became puzzles to solve, not dead ends. Her words rewired her perspective, opening doors that had seemed locked forever. Language also connects deeply to emotions. The words you use create vibration inside you, sometimes subtle, sometimes overwhelming. Harsh self-criticism breeds tension. Gentle, empowering affirmations create calm and energy. When you become fluent in the language of self-compassion and possibility, you cultivate an inner climate where your dreams flourish effortlessly. There is power in spoken word as well. To speak your vision aloud is to give it voice, to declare it in the world. This declaration is an act of bravery, an offer to the universe of your trust and intention. When aligned with inner belief and imagination, spoken language becomes a beacon, drawing people, opportunities and miracles toward you. At the same time, be mindful of the stories you accept from others, the words that shape collective belief. Filter these carefully. Words of doubt or fear broadcast by family, culture, or society do not define you unless you invite them in. Choose instead to surround yourself with language that uplifts and expands your spirit. One practice to awaken the power of language is daily affirmation, not as empty repetition, but as soulful declaration. Speak aloud who you are becoming, what you choose to embrace, and the growth you welcome. Let your affirmations be vivid, emotional, and real, acting as daily nourishment to your inner garden. This journey with language is not about perfection or denial of struggle. It is about respect and partnership with the words that shape your experience. It encourages you to pause before speaking, to feel before thinking, and to cultivate silence when words no longer serve. Language becomes a sacred dance, expressing your highest truth with clarity and grace. As the seeds of new language take root, you'll notice subtle shifts. Your inner dialogue grows tender and strong. Your conversations carry more presence and purpose. Doors that once seemed closed begin to open, guided by the resonance of your spoken and unspoken words. The world you inhabit bends toward the reality crafted by your language. As this chapter closes, hold this reflection. Your words are your wand, your story, your song. Speak with intention, honor the power they carry, and watch as they weave your life into a tapestry more beautiful than you dared to imagine. Next, we will dive into the emotional currents that fuel your vision, how feeling the wish fulfilled becomes the magnet that draws your dreams into reality. For now, carry your language gently, consciously, as you would a sacred fire lighting your way. The journey continues. Speak your truth with courage. The path is yours to create. Chapter 6. Emotional Resonance. Feel it. The steady pulse beneath your thoughts, the electric current flowing quietly beneath your skin. Emotion is not just a response, it is the very bridge connecting your inner vision to the world beyond. Imagine a roaring fire, not just warmth, but a powerful force that ignites and sustains life. This fire is your emotional energy, the fuel that brings your dreams from shadow into radiant form. Without emotion, imagination and belief are like seeds lying dormant in cold soil, waiting for the heat that awakens growth. Emotional resonance is the feeling of your vision already alive. It is the difference between wishing and knowing, between hoping and claiming. When you feel the wish fulfilled, your heart and mind unite in magnetic harmony, sending signals through every cell to the universe. This is real. This is mine. This chapter reveals how your emotions are not obstacles to overcome, but allies to embrace. Emotional resonance is not about suppressing pain or denying struggle. Rather, it's about harnessing the intensity of feeling toward purpose and transformation. The emotional experience of your goal, joy, peace, excitement magnifies your creative power beyond logic or circumstance. Consider the story of an athlete preparing for a race. Long before the starting gun, they see themselves crossing the finish line, Feel the rush of accomplishment. Taste the victory. This emotional rehearsal is no fantasy. It stokes nerves and muscles, programs the body for success. Similarly, you can train your emotions to embody the reality you desire, inviting that outcome to manifest in your life. Yet many resist their feelings, fearing vulnerability or discomfort. The truth is, emotions are the language of your subconscious, the deepest layer of your being, communicating with certainty what you truly want or fear. When you shy away from this language, you disconnect from your own power. True transformation comes from walking gently into your feelings, holding space for all of them with compassion and courage. Practicing emotional resonance begins with awareness. Notice what you feel when you imagine your goals. Does it stir anxiety or confidence, resistance or excitement? Whatever arises, greet it without judgment. Each emotion is a data point guiding your inner work. Then, consciously amplify feelings. Aligned with your vision, engage your senses. See the colors, hear the sounds, touch the textures of your fulfilled desire. Let your emotional body immerse in this reality. There is also a profound spiritual rhythm in this process. Emotion ties you to the present moment while simultaneously bridging you to the future you create. Your feelings become a beacon, a vibration calling forth circumstances and people in harmony with your inner state. This is not magic. It is the law of attraction, working through the deep currents of emotional energy. One woman shared how she transformed years of despair by dedicating herself daily to feeling the wish fulfilled. Each morning, she closed her eyes, breathed deeply, and tuned into the peaceful joy of a healed heart and thriving life. Over time, her external world shifted miraculously. Doors opened, relationships healed, and opportunities blossomed, all traced back to the emotional frequency she cultivated within. The emotional journey is not without challenges. Feelings can be intense and sometimes overwhelming. There will be moments when doubt seeps in, or fear threatens to extinguish the flame. This is the natural dance of transformation. Embrace the fluctuations as signposts, showing where growth is most needed. Your resilience is built not by avoiding these waves, but by riding them with steady breath and unwavering faith. Another key to emotional resonance is celebration, honoring small victories, no matter how humble. Each step toward your vision is fuel for the fire. Recognizing progress deepens your emotional investment and ignites further momentum. Gratitude, especially, nurtures emotional strength, expanding your capacity to hold and manifest joy. The body plays a vital role in this alchemy. Emotions live in muscles, cells, breath. Movement, breathwork, and stillness help translate emotional energy into vibrant life force that powers action. When you integrate body and emotion, your creative potential flows uninhibited, anchoring your dreams with physical vitality. Cultivating emotional resonance transforms your relation to your dreams and yourself. It shifts your role from distant observer to vibrant participant. Fully engaged in the miraculous unfolding of your life, your feelings become allies, guiding lights, and powerful magnets for your highest good. As this chapter closes, carry this gentle, fiery truth. When you feel the wish fulfilled, you touch the infinite. Your emotions become the voice of your soul, the drumbeat calling greatness to your door. Nurture this feeling and watch as your vision dances into reality. Next, we explore the quiet strength of persistence, steadfast endurance that honors the unseen work beneath every visible triumph. For now, hold your feelings close like a flame in the dark and let them illuminate your path forward. The journey deepens. The heart leads. Chapter 7. Persistence beyond the visible. Picture a river carving its way through solid rock. Gentle, but relentless. Over time, the soft water wears down the hardest stone, shaping landscapes that seem impossible to change. This river does not shout nor race. It simply keeps flowing, persistent beyond what the eye can see. The story of transformation is much like this river, quiet endurance that unfolds beneath the surface, until one day, everything is changed. Persistence is the heartbeat of transformation. It is the inner flame that refuses to be extinguished by doubt, delay, or difficulty. Yet persistence is misunderstood. It's not frantic pushing or stubborn resistance. It's a steady, patient faith that what you seek is already in motion, often when no evidence of progress appears. This is the invisible work, the silent labor where true power is born. In our culture of instant gratification and rapid results, persistence can feel old-fashioned, even futile. We expect quick answers, fast breakthroughs, immediate validation. But the most profound growth often happens in what seems like stillness or setback. The persistence that matters is not measured by speed, but by fidelity, remaining committed to your vision when the path is dark and the outcome unknown. There is a sacred rhythm to this endurance. Like a dancer who holds their position before a graceful leap, persistence demands both tension and release. It balances striving with surrender, effort with trust. When you persist beyond the visible, you come to understand that progress is not always linear. Sometimes the universe is preparing you in quiet ways for the leap ahead. Consider the story of a tree growing slowly toward the sun. Seasons pass. Storms batter its branches. Sometimes it seems barely alive. Yet beneath the bark and soil, roots gather strength, anchoring deeper with every challenge. One day, when no one expects it, the tree bursts into full bloom. The transformation was never stopped. It simply unfolded patiently. Persistence also guards against the seduction of distractions and discouragement. When results lag, it's tempting to retreat, change course, or quiet the dream. But true persistence listens to a deeper voice, the steady pulse reminding you why you began. It sees obstacles not as signs to turn back, but as invitations to evolve, to refine, to grow stronger. This chapter invites you to cultivate that sacred endurance, that persistence beyond the visible. It begins with renewing your connection to your why, the core reason your vision matters. This why becomes your anchor through storms, reminding you that temporary hardship is no measure of ultimate success. Persistence requires patience too, a willingness to trust unseen progress. Like an artist stepping back from the canvas repeatedly, you must allow the process to breathe and unfold. Growth happens in cycles of effort and rest, pushing and yielding. Honoring this natural rhythm sustains your energy and prevents burnout. One woman shared her journey of persistence, working toward a lifelong dream. Years of no and silence tested her resolve. When doubt whispered enough, she returned to her vision with quiet faith, tending to small actions each day. Her breakthrough came not from one sudden moment, but from decades of unwavering persistence, steady drops shaping a vast ocean. Persistence is also an act of courage. It calls you to stand firm in uncertainty, to keep your heart open when fear knocks. This courage grows with every step you take, turning vulnerability into strength. The more you practice patience and persistence, the more you embody a being who trusts their own unfolding. In moments of solitude when progress seems invisible, remember this: transformation is not a spectacle, but a sacred unfolding. Like the river reshaping stone, your steadfastness moves mountains, even if you do not yet see the change. As this chapter draws to a close, carry this reflection close. Persistence beyond the visible is the quiet hero of every great story, the silent force that turns dreams into reality. Your commitment, no matter how small or unseen, is reshaping your world right now. Next, we will turn to a powerful but often overlooked key to transformation: forgiveness. Releasing what binds you frees energy, clears space, and opens your heart more fully to creation. For now, honor your persistent spirit, and know that every steady step brings you closer to your destiny. The path continues with unwavering faith. Keep flowing, keep trusting. Chapter 8. The Role of Forgiveness. Imagine carrying a heavy stone in your hand, a stone that weighs you down with every step, making the journey exhausting, painful, and slow. Now imagine setting that stone down, feeling the sudden release of tension, the lightness of motion restored. This is what forgiveness offers: freedom from burdens that no longer serve you. It is not about forgetting or excusing harm, but about reclaiming your energy and peace so your transformation can flourish. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful, yet misunderstood keys to personal growth. It touches the deepest parts of your heart and soul, breaking chains forged by resentment, anger, and old wounds. Holding on to grievances ties your energy to past pain, limiting your ability to move forward. Forgiveness releases that grip, allowing space for healing, clarity, and renewed strength. This chapter explores forgiveness, not as a passive act, but as a fierce declaration of your own freedom. It is an act of courage to face inner pain, to look honestly at what has hurt you, and to choose liberation over victimhood. When you forgive, you do not erase history. You transform your relationship with it. You redefine your story, no longer shaped by bitterness, but by resilience and compassion. Think of forgiveness like clearing a path through dense forest. Each act of forgiveness cuts away tangled vines of anger and fear, opening a clearer way forward. This clearing invites sunlight and fresh air, hope and possibility to reach the places shadowed by pain. Your journey toward transformation requires these clearings. Without them, the weight of past wounds dims your light and slows your progress. Consider someone who spent years carrying grudges in silence, feeling justified but heavy. One day, through grace or insight, they made a conscious choice to forgive. Not because the harm was small, but because their desire for peace outweighed the need for retribution. That moment marked a profound turning point. Energy once trapped in bitterness began to flow freely, opening doors to new relationships, creativity, and self-love. Forgiveness starts with self-compassion. Often, the harshest judgments come from within. We blame ourselves for failures, mistakes, or perceived weaknesses. This inner unforgiveness erects walls that block transformation more than anything else. Learning to forgive yourself for past errors, missteps, or unmet expectations opens the heart and releases a powerful current of growth and healing. The process is not always easy or immediate. Forgiveness unfolds in practice, sometimes in small moments of conscious choice, sometimes in deep inner work over time. It asks you to meet your pain with honesty and gentleness, to embrace vulnerability while anchoring yourself in strength. It invites the paradox of holding space for suffering and choosing freedom simultaneously. Many spiritual traditions affirm that forgiveness is a gift you give yourself first. It is not about excusing others' behavior, but about reclaiming your peace and power. Resentment acts like poison, not to those who harmed you, but to your own soul. By forgiving, you cleanse your inner world, creating fertile ground for transformation and joy. One way to begin is to reflect silently on the pain you carry. Visualize the burden as something you gently place down, acknowledging the hurt but refusing to be defined by it. Speak kind words to your own heart, affirming your willingness to release bitterness and embrace healing. This sacred act honors your strength and your capacity for renewal. Forgiveness also expands your capacity for empathy and connection toward yourself and others. It opens the door to compassion, which is the soil where true transformation takes root. Compassion softens the edges of judgment, inviting understanding without sacrificing boundaries or self-respect. It fosters peace within that ripples outward, touching every part of your life. As forgiveness deepens, you may notice unexpected shifts. Old wounds may surface for attention, but they lose their power to control you. Patterns of resentments dissolve, replaced by a growing sense of grace and freedom. You cultivate a heart spacious enough to hold complexity, sorrow and joy, weakness and strength, shadow and light, without losing your center. This chapter invites you to embrace forgiveness as a radical act of self-love, a key to unlocking your fullest potential. Forgiveness frees your energy, clears the path, and brightens your soul's landscape. It is not the end, but the beginning of deeper healing and transformation. As this chapter closes, reflect on what stones you might lay down today. What burdens are no longer yours to carry? What forgiveness will you offer to yourself, to others, to life? Next, we turn to the power of vision, a vivid, living image of your becoming. In that vision lies direction, clarity, and the magnetic force pulling you forward. But before vision, forgiveness clears the space needed for your dreams to breathe and grow. Carry forgiveness gently in your heart as you continue your journey. The path ahead is open, lightened by the freedom you create. Chapter 9. The Power of Vision. Close your eyes and imagine a lighthouse standing tall against a storm-tossed sea. Its beam cuts through the darkest night, unwavering, a steadfast guide for ships seeking safe harbor. Your vision is that lighthouse, a living, breathing beacon illuminating the path ahead when the waters churn and the skies grow dark. Without such a guiding light, it's easy to lose your way, overwhelmed by waves of doubt and distraction. But with vision, even the fiercest storms become a backdrop to your journey, not a barrier. Vision is more than a goal written on a list or a fleeting daydream. It's an immersive, vibrant image of your becoming, an inner movie, played with clarity, emotion, and detail. This chapter invites you to awaken to the transformative power of vision, to see beyond what is into the realm of pure possibility. Vision is the compass that points you toward your highest destiny, the magnetic force that pulls you forward when the path is uncertain. Why is vision so vital? Because it shapes the landscape of your life before your feet even touch the soil. It acts as a blueprint for your subconscious, shaping your thoughts, emotions, and actions in invisible but profound ways. When your vision feels alive, it organizes your energy, draws resources, and aligns circumstances, even people, toward its fulfillment. It breathes life into abstract hopes and indeterminate desires, turning them into tangible reality. Imagine an artist before a blank canvas, paintbrush in hand, without a clear picture of what they want to create. Colors may fall randomly, energy scattered, but with a vision, each stroke has purpose, each hue is chosen intentionally, and slowly, the masterpiece emerges. Your vision is your masterpiece in progress, a dynamic living picture you constantly refine, deepen, and make real through your attention and intention. Vision also carries emotional potency, which distinguishes it from mere wishful thinking. A powerful vision is soaked in feeling, the excitement of success, the peace of fulfillment, the joy of contribution. This emotional welding of image and feeling charges your vision with magnetic energy that draws toward it everything you need. This is why vision without feeling often falls flat. It lacks the irresistible pull required to spark transformation. Creating vision requires imagination, honesty, and courage. It asks you to dream not just safely, but expansively, to move beyond limitations that whisper, "You can't," or "not yet." It invites you to picture a version of yourself, living fully, unburdened by doubt, aligned with purpose, thriving in all realms. This sight is not vanity or delusion. It is a sacred act of self-honoring that aligns your soul's deepest desires with your life's direction. Vision also teaches patience. Like any growing thing, it slowly unfolds, sometimes hidden beneath surface setbacks or external confusion. When you anchor yourself to vision, you anchor yourself to faith, knowing that what you see in your mind's eye is your destiny, taking shape, even if you cannot yet touch it. This faith sustains you through uncertainty and fuels persistence. Consider the story of a young woman who dreamed of creating a community center for arts and healing. Her vision was vivid, children laughing, colors splashing across walls, music filling the air. For years, obstacles blocked her progress, lack of funds, skepticism around her goals, yet she held tightly to her vision, returning to it daily with clarity and passion. Over time, that vision attracted allies, resources, and opportunities, transforming from dream to thriving reality. Her vision was the lodestar guiding her through storms of doubt and delay. Vision also demands integration. It invites you to bring all aspects of yourself, mind, heart, body, spirit, into alignment. This unity makes your vision coherent and compelling, giving it the power to ripple outward. Fragmented visions, pulled by conflicting desires or fears, scatter energy and weaken their pull. A clear, unified vision flows like a river, carving a path toward your becoming. Engage your senses deeply when crafting your vision. See it in vibrant colors, hear the sounds that accompany it, feel the textures and emotions as if already lived. This sensory richness nurtures emotional resonance and strengthens your subconscious programming, turning your vision into a living magnet. As you deepen your vision, you naturally begin to live from that place. Your decisions, actions, and relationships begin to reflect the reality you are calling into existence. Vision becomes more than a future goal. It becomes your present identity. Before moving forward, take time now to create or reaffirm your vision. Imagine yourself fully embodying your highest aspirations. Hold that image gently but persistently, like a precious flame. Let it inspire, challenge, and guide you. As this chapter closes, hold this truth close. Vision is your lighthouse in the storm, your compass in the unknown, your anchor in the shifting tides of life. Nourish it, protect it, let it shine relentlessly. Next, we will explore how to align with the universal flow, the subtle, often unseen currents that carry you toward your vision when you learn to listen and surrender. For now, honor your vision as the most profound gift you give yourself. The journey continues, illuminated by your inner light. Chapter 10. Aligning with universal flow. Imagine standing in a river, feeling the current's gentle but undeniable pull. You could resist a fierce fight against the water, exhausting and fruitless, or you could relax into the flow, letting the current carry you forward with grace and ease. This river is like the universal flow, an unseen current that guides the dance of life itself. Aligning with this flow is not surrender in weakness, but a powerful act of trust and partnership with the forces shaping your destiny. This chapter reveals the secret rhythm at the heart of transformation, the delicate balance between intention and release, effort and surrender. We live in a world that glorifies pushing harder, controlling more, mastering every detail. Yet the deepest wisdom whispers the opposite. The true power emerges when we learn to listen, to yield without losing ourselves, and to move with the invisible forces supporting our highest good. What is this universal flow? It is the intelligence beneath existence, the synchronicity weaving your steps with cosmic patterns. It manifests as subtle signs, opportunities, people, and moments that align perfectly with your vision, often when least expected. But to recognize and follow this flow, you must quiet restless striving and cultivate deep presence. Imagine a sailor navigating vast, unpredictable seas. They cannot command the wind or control the waves, yet they read patterns in the sky, adjust their sails, and move fluidly with nature's rhythm. Aligning with universal flow is your inner sailing, with awareness, adaptability, and trust as your guides. You cannot control every gust, but you can harness the winds that carry you forward. This alignment requires you to cultivate sensitivity, to notice synchronicities and subtle nudges rather than dismiss them as coincidence. It asks you to trust intuition and the inner voice that speaks beyond logic. When your steps feel effortless and doors open in mysterious ways, you are flowing with the current of life, no longer pushing against resistance, but moving in harmony. Yet, aligning with flow does not mean passivity. It is not waiting for life to happen, but active participation in an unfolding dance. You set intentions, take aligned action, and then release the need to force outcomes. This sacred cycle of doing and letting go creates space for miracles, creativity, and unseen support to enter. One story beautifully illustrates this balance. A musician dreamed of sharing their art with the world. They practiced relentlessly but also learned to rest, listen, and allow inspiration to guide their compositions. When opportunities came, unexpected gigs, collaborations, recordings, they embraced them without clutching, yielded to unexpected detours, and trusted the process. Their career blossomed not through control, but through flowing with life's unfolding plan. Aligning with universal flow deepens your inner peace. When you release desperate striving, you ease tension and open to joy in the journey itself. You become less reactive and more responsive, more confident in your path, even when it twists or stalls. This peace is a magnetic force, drawing experiences that match your true vibration. Resistance arises naturally. Fear of uncertainty, need for control, impatience, they all whisper to grip tightly. Recognize these voices as signs reminding you to practice trust and surrender. The paradox is that true control lies in letting go, like a tight fist that must open to hold beauty. Practices supporting flow include meditation, journaling, nature walks, and moments of simply being. These create stillness, where inner guidance surfaces. Cultivating gratitude also shifts you toward openness, emphasizing the abundance of alignment already present. With regular practice, you build sensitivity to flow's signals and learn to dance its subtle rhythms. Remember, you are an active creator in this flow, not separate from it. Your intentions act like stones tossed into a pond, creating ripples that interact with larger currents. Your beliefs, emotions, and actions shape your alignment. When you hold your vision while surrendering attachment to how it unfolds, you co-create with life's mystery. As this chapter closes, hold this profound thought. Alignment with universal flow is the secret current beneath every visible transformation. When you flow, resistance softens, obstacles shift, and your path lights up with unexpected grace. This flow is waiting for your willingness to follow, not blindly, but with open eyes and an open heart. Next, we will explore how stepping fully into your power ignites the light you carry, and how sharing your journey inspires others to awaken their own strength. For now, rest in the river's current, feel its steady pull, and trust that it carries you exactly where you need to be. The journey flows onward. Flow with it. Breathe deeply. Move freely. Chapter 11. Sharing your light. Imagine walking through a darkened forest, carrying a single glowing lantern. Your light flickers but never fades, casting warmth and clarity as you move. Now imagine others gathering around, drawn by your steady flame, feeling its comfort and courage. Sharing your light is not just an act, it is a calling. It is the ripple that transforms not only your world, but the worlds of countless others. This chapter reveals the profound truth that transformation is never solely a personal journey. When you step into your power and embrace your truth, you become a beacon, whether you intend to or not. Your life's unfolding, your courage to grow, your willingness to shine, even from the shadows, ignites sparks in those around you. This ripple effect has the power to awaken collective light and inspire waves of change far beyond what you can see. Sharing your light means living authentically, speaking your truth with kindness, and offering your gifts without reservation. Many hesitate, fearing judgment, rejection, or failure. Yet it is precisely this vulnerability, the willingness to be seen, that creates connection and belonging. When you share your journey honestly and openly, you invite others to do the same, forging bonds that nourish growth and healing. Consider the story of a woman who once hid her passion for storytelling, afraid her voice was not worthy. One day, she began to share her truths through writing. Hesitant at first, she soon found her words resonating deeply with readers. Her courage emboldened others to express themselves, creating a community of voices, lifting each other toward their dreams. Her light, once dimmed, became a blazing flame, illuminating a path for many. Your light is unique, shaped by your experiences, your struggles, your wisdom. When you share it, you offer something irreplaceable. You show what is possible when one decides to rise despite obstacles. Your authenticity becomes a bridge spanning isolation and connection, fear and courage, doubt and faith. Sharing also expands your own growth. When you speak your truth or teach what you have learned, you solidify your understanding, deepen your presence, and empower yourself in profound ways. It invites feedback, reflection, and the refining of your vision. In this sacred exchange, both giver and receiver are transformed. There is also a spiritual dimension to sharing your light. It is a manifestation of unity, the recognition that your growth is intertwined with the whole. When you shine, you honor the light in others and contribute to the collective awakening. This sense of interconnectedness fuels resilience, joy, and purpose, anchoring your journey in a greater unfolding story. Yet sharing requires balance and discernment. It does not mean exposing every detail or sacrificing your well-being. It means choosing wisely how, when, and with whom to reveal your truth. Boundaries protect your light, ensuring it burns steady and clear rather than scattered or overwhelmed. Practice gratitude for the ways your light already touches others, seen and unseen. Small acts of kindness, words of encouragement, or the simple presence of your authentic self can ripple far beyond your awareness. Every kind gesture, every honest word, every moment of openness adds to the luminous web of connection. As this chapter closes, hold this thought gently. Your light is a gift, a sacred fire meant to be shared. It comforts, guides, inspires, and heals. When you shine with courage and compassion, you invite others into the dance of creation, awakening the light within them too. Next, we will explore the endless journey of transformation itself. How embracing this path with humility and curiosity keeps your light growing, expanding beyond horizons yet imagined. For now, carry your light proudly, knowing it is needed and treasured. The journey ripples outward. Shine boldly. Illuminate your world. Chapter 12. The ever-expanding journey. In the quiet moments before dawn, when the world feels still and endless, imagine yourself standing at the edge of a vast horizon, one that stretches far beyond what the eye can see. This horizon is not a limit, but an invitation. It calls you to step forward, to continue growing, evolving, and expanding without end. Your journey of transformation is exactly that, ever expanding, unfolding beyond every boundary, demanding your courage to embrace the unknown again. This chapter invites you to honor transformation, not as a final destination or fixed achievement, but as a lifelong dance, an infinite unfolding of your deepest self. True growth is not about arriving, it's about continuously becoming, adapting, and reaching toward new heights, while rooted firmly in your truth. The horizon before you shifts with every step you take, always urging you to deeper awareness, greater wisdom, and wider compassion. Transformation at this level requires humility, the willingness to learn even when you think you know, to stay curious amid certainty, and to open your heart beyond comfort zones. It means recognizing that every phase of growth brings new challenges, new lessons, and new opportunities to expand your vision and your light. You are both student and master in this ever-changing landscape of becoming. Imagine a river that never settles, always flowing, reshaping banks, carving canyons, and nourishing life along its course. This river is your journey, alive, dynamic, unpredictable, and endlessly renewing. By embracing this flow, you free yourself from the trap of rigid expectations and open to the creative possibilities that emerge through change. Over time, you'll notice the patterns repeating, not as frustration, but as invitations to move deeper. Old fears may resurface, old wounds beckon for healing, and comfort may tempt you to remain still. Yet each cycle is an opportunity to choose growth again, to step into new versions of yourself with bravery and grace. The horizon may seem distant, but with each step it comes nearer, inviting you to walk taller, dream grander, and shine brighter. This journey is deeply personal, yet profoundly universal. Every soul exploring transformation walks this path of continual expansion. Through shared experience, connection, and reflection, you realize you are never truly alone. Your growth intertwines with the rhythms of all life, a part of the vast unfolding cosmos. Balance is essential. Alongside courage, you must nurture rest and reflection, times when you pause to catch your breath and integrate the lessons learned. These moments of stillness are not retreats, but sacred intervals that prepare you for the next leap. Like the tide that pulls back before a powerful surge, you gather strength in these pauses. Gratitude becomes a faithful companion on this journey. Celebrating each small victory, each moment of insight, each step forward, nourishes your spirit and fuels continued expansion. Gratitude connects you to the abundance already present and the promise yet to come. As you move beyond what you once thought possible, your sense of self evolves from isolated individual to radiant presence. You become a living example of transformation's power, a beacon inspiring others to awaken their own journeys and to believe in the limitless potential within. In this unfolding, you learn to hold paradox, the tension between knowing and not knowing, doing and letting be, strength and vulnerability. This dance creates wisdom, deep empathy, and a grounded lightness that carries you forward when the path is unclear. Before closing this chapter and this journey together, invite yourself now to envision the vast horizon ahead. Feel the invitation in your bones, the call to continue, to explore, to expand without fear. Embrace the unknown with open arms. Know that every step, no matter how small, propels you into fuller expression and deeper fulfillment. Transformation is not a journey to finish, but a life to live fully, richly, and courageously, an ever-expanding masterpiece painted with the colors of your soul's boldest dreams. Thank you for walking this path here, for engaging deeply, for lighting your own fire. The horizon stretches endlessly before you. Step boldly. The journey is yours, always beginning, always unfolding, always beautiful. And so, the ever-expanding journey continues.